What's going on, guys? Venomousfatman here, and I got a brand new OTGT for you. This time I'm talking about the Sony Press Conference that just happened 2 seconds ago at E3 2011. Here's the deal what went on. The opening for Sony's press conference event was awesome. The beginning towards the middle was pretty damn good, I have to admit. I'm really impressed with Uncharted 3. You know, really cool stuff going on. You know, the lighting, all the stuff that's going on, the suspense, the action, really cool. This is a game that we all expected to be really good. So I'm really happy with it. You know, it looks awesome, really cool. Moving on from that, they showed off the PlayStation Vita. It's officially now named PlayStation Vita, not NGP anymore, much to a lot of dismay to all the people that were probably there at the event and the entire internet as a whole. That's the name that Sony is sticking with. So, with that being said, there's a lot of good stuff that's actually on the PlayStation Vita, which I think is pretty cool. You got Uncharted Golden Abyss. You got versions of Killzone already in the works. You have a Street Fighter X Tekken version that's going to feature Cole from Infamous as a special character in the game. That's pretty cool because they had Ono get up on stage and actually talk about it, and he said that the PlayStation 3 version of Street Fighter X Tekken was going to be playable there at the event. So that's pretty cool. You also have My Nation Racers, which is pretty dope. You got a whole bunch of other games, including Ruin. That's kind of like a dungeon crawler that you could play both on PlayStation Vita and on PlayStation 3. That's pretty cool. Most of the stuff towards the beginning was awesome. There was a lot of PlayStation Move stuff towards the middle and towards the end. You know, they really kind of, did kind of like what Microsoft did, where they were really pushing forward the actual the Kinect, in this case PlayStation Move. They all had some interesting announcements. Number one, it was revealed that a brand new Sly Cooper game is in the works, Sly 4, so that's pretty awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. This one actually got me excited, so I wanted to see that. Not really much to see, from their actual little trailer and stuff, but hopefully they got a demo there. That footage is probably going to hit the internet sometime soon. Now, overall, here's what I have to say about Sony's event. Besides Sly Cooper, besides Uncharted, there really was no huge reveals at Sony's event, other than the fact that the PlayStation Vita and its price point, which, by the way, in case you guys have not heard by now, it's $249 for a standard Wi-Fi model, and then on top of that, it's $300 for a 3G model, because there's two different versions that people are going to be able to buy with the PlayStation Vita. So, top of that, overall is this. No big reveals. Really no huge reveals. People were expecting Twisted Metal to actually be shown off at Sony's event, because people have been wanting to actually see that. They thought that was going to be a big megaton reveal. No other kind of other games that people were expecting maybe to come out, as the big reveals or the big kind of megaton blockbusters that are going to knock everybody out the ballpark with them. But again, nothing happened. They did show Infamous 2. That was another thing. They did talk about Infamous 2. But that game comes out tomorrow. This was more about, if anything, I would have rather them not really kind of take too much time showing Infamous 2, since that game is going to be out tomorrow for the most part. I would have rather them just mention it, say that, they did a couple stuff with it, and then move on, talk about other games that are probably still in development, or games that are going to be coming out later this year. I would have rather seen that. That would have been cool. But again, a lot of people, especially I was checking on Twitter during the course of the event, as it got closer towards the end of Sony's press conference, people were questioning, what the hell is Sony's big reveal? And then when it came out there really wasn't nothing, people were kind of a little upset about that. And they were saying, you know what, this entire day, with the exception of maybe EA and EA and Ubisoft, there wasn't really a lot going on for the press conferences for Sony and Microsoft. With Sony's case, I'm not dwelling too much on Microsoft because this is Sony's time to shine. With Sony's case, they handled, I have to admit, they handled the whole kind of thoughts and the whole atmosphere with the PlayStation Network being down, all that stuff that was going on with them. There was rumor and word that they were going to handle it more professionally instead of joking around about it, which was good, and I liked that. They didn't dwell on it. If anything, it was cool because Jack Trin comes out and he actually told the entire press that pretty much, you're welcome, since the press really loves controversy, well, here you go. You could thank us later. I thought that was pretty interesting. It had some humor behind it, but it was more kind of, asserting himself a little bit, asserting, the brand for Sony. So they dealt with it. Now time to move on. They started talking about other stuff. I like that. That was cool. They did also say one other interesting that they did come out with about Battlefield 3. Battlefield 3, the PlayStation 3 version, because of the extra space they're going to have on the actual Blu-ray disc, they're going to bundle it with Battlefield's 1943. I thought that was cool. That really surprised the hell out of me. I'm like, whoa, wait a second. I haven't heard about this on Microsoft's thing or even at the EA press event. That was not something that really came out at all. So that's going to be pretty cool. That's really something that Sony's going to have going for themselves, because pretty sure a lot of hardcore Battlefield fans, or even people that haven't really experienced older Battlefield games, are really going to want to check that out, kind of get away from the whole futuristic or modern combat thing that was going on. So that'll be like an extra plus for everybody to really check out and really kind of experience like that. So overall, like I said, not a lot of major megaton reveals with Sony. They had some stuff that we all expected that was going to happen. It was there. It kind of met our expectations with a tiny bit of extra involving, Sly Cooper and a couple other stuff with Battlefields and a couple of the Sony Move things, and especially PlayStation Vita, as far as the games are concerned. There's also a couple other games that they had there that they had a montage where they never really came out and said the names of the games. I really wish they could have maybe put a little kind of a logo or name or footer or something. It's going to tell everybody what games were what. Instead, I guess they kind of played along the lines that everybody knew what games they were by the footage they were showing. But personally, some of the games I did not know their names at all, so I'm probably going to be looking them up later. But they do have a lot of games for the PlayStation Vita, and they have a lot of stuff going for the PlayStation Vita, and they kept saying and kept putting it out there for everybody that there are a lot of developers right now that are really making games for the PlayStation Vita, in all different types of aspects, both first party and third party. So that's pretty cool. What I really would have wanted to see, in all honesty, like everybody else, I would have wanted to see Twisted Metal. That was one thing. You notice one thing, it's a PlayStation 3 exclusive, and yet we did not see it. Final Fantasy Versus 13, that is something that I wish we could have seen. I think more in that case, they're probably leaving that more towards Tokyo Game Show, because I remember reading some news about it where a lot of the Japanese developers weren't going to be at E3 this year, so they were going to bring more of their bigger stuff towards Tokyo Game Show, with everything that's going on in Japan and stuff. So that's one thing that was kind of disappointing, but I understood that. But I did not understand Twisted Metal. I really wish Twisted Metal was there. Top of that, same thing, we all know Kojima wasn't going to be there at E3 this year. I'm pretty sure he's going to Tokyo Game Show. It would have been nice, a little bit much more talk about Metal Gear Solid, but with him not being there, I guess they weren't really going to kind of talk about that. We didn't see anything about Tekken Tag 2. That's another thing. We didn't see Harada there. I'm pretty sure Harada's got to be at E3 somewhere, doing his thing, with Ono being there with Street Fighter X Tekken. So hopefully, there's still hope there. There's still also hope about, Yu Suzuki, that's supposedly supposed to be making a fighting game for both the Kinect and the PlayStation Move. There's got to be some news going on around with that. But like I said, there was a lot of stuff that a lot of people wanted to see that was not there with Sony. So that being said, overall, they did pretty decently. So with that also being said, that's all I got for you guys. Leave your comments and video responses. I don't mind. Just keep it civil. Let me know what you guys thought of Sony's press conference. If you were upset, or if you actually liked what they showed there, if you were excited about some of the games, or what about the PlayStation Vita? Are you actually going to be picking up a PlayStation Vita at the end of this year, towards this holiday season? Or maybe not, or maybe you're actually going to go lean towards Nintendo's 3DS. So that's all I got for you guys on Sony. Tomorrow, I'm going to be coming back at you guys with Nintendo's press conference, hopefully after it's done. There's going to be a lot to talk about. Everybody right now is hyped up because the people that are feeling the disappointment from Microsoft and Sony are now going to get pumped up for Nintendo. So hopefully Nintendo liberates all those people that, are a little disappointed right now. But all that's done and over with. I'll see you guys tomorrow with some more E3 footage, E3 thoughts and stuff, and the press conferences. And that's only the goddamn truth, people. I'll talk to y'all later. Take it easy, everybody.